So if you're anything like me, when you go on holiday, you probably find yourself weeks and months before trying to get yourself into the best shape you possibly can. You know, working really hard, training properly, your diet's good, etc. Because, you know, you want to look good in the pool, you want to look good on the beach, you want to feel confident, you want to feel healthy, and you want to feel happy, don't you? Simple as that. And you want to look good with a tan, obviously. So, you know, like, that's what we do. Like, as men, that's generally what we try and do before a holiday, isn't it? It just is. Like, you know, and that's what I've done. You know, that's what I've done all my life, really, since I was, you know, in my early 20s probably. I'm 40 now, you know. I've done that all the time. But one key issue I've always had is, yeah, you know, I've got into good shape for holiday, etc. But I've always given it back. I've always given that progress back. You know, within 7-10 days, however long the holiday is, at the end of it, I feel doughy, flabby, feel like shit, generally. I don't know if you're the same, but that's generally been a trend for me from, you know, my early 20s to, you know, not too long ago, really. But this holiday was different. So last year I went from this to this, and I'm now, like I've just said, I'm 40, and I never want to go back to that. And I never will go back, because I've got the habits and the framework now not to have to do that. So going back to the point of the video, I want to explain to you how I stayed in shape. I got back off holiday yesterday. I had a week away, all inclusive in Spain. It was a fantastic holiday. I didn't deprive myself of anything. If I wanted an ice cream, I had an ice cream. If I wanted a beer, I had a beer. If I wanted a burger, I had a burger. I had a pizza one night as well. Basically never deprived myself of anything. I ate whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, essentially. So, and I've come back looking as lean, if not leaner, than what I did when I started. So I'll try and put a video in of me in the pool with my son as well, which was on the last day. As you can see, I'm still looking pretty decent. So yeah, basically what I did was, sorry, I was just checking an issue. I thought someone was calling me. So basically what I did was, for breakfast, okay, so I'm just going to explain to you day to day what I did, all right? So for breakfast, I had pretty much the same thing every day, which is what I really enjoy and what I've talked about before on this channel. So I had Greek yogurt, I had some honey in it, sprinkle of nuts, sprinkle of chia seeds, and some granola as well on top. So that was fantastic. I had that, really enjoyed it. And then I had some poached eggs on toast with some avocado. A couple of mornings I had omelettes, they made omelettes there, etc. Different meats and stuff like that as well. I had some mornings. So I mixed it up really between, like, you know, yogurt, eggs, toast, avocado, meats, fruit, etc. That kind of stuff, really. Just what I fancied. That's what I had. So I was still making sure I got my protein in, you know, through the Greek yogurt, through the eggs and stuff like that. But I had whatever else I wanted, if you know what I mean. So I was satiated, I was happy, I was full, and I felt good. I felt like I wasn't missing out on anything. I felt like I wasn't, you know, craving anything. You know, some mornings I had pancakes as well, which were great as well. Then we generally go for a morning walk, so 5,000-6,000 steps, probably something like that, in the sun, which was great. You know, it's key to stay active on holiday as well. I think if you just kind of, you know, just sit by the pool all day drinking beer, then that's obviously not ideal. But, you know, if you can kind of stay active as well, as much as you can, that then allows you to eat more of what you want and enjoy it more, you know, whilst also not feeling like shit, because you're being active as well, and you're actually moving your body, and obviously that's great for your mental and physical health. For lunch, I generally go to the shop. You know, I'd pick up a protein shake from the shop. I just enjoyed it. Did a local one there. You know, it was something like 30 odd grams of protein. There was no crap in it. It wasn't like a, you know, one with lots of different types of crap in it. It was decent. There wasn't many ingredients in. It's obviously processed, but you know, it was as minimally processed as possible. So that was good. And then we'd actually go back to lunch at the hotel. Again, I'd focus on stuff like my proteins, which is what I enjoy anyway. So chicken, fish, steak, whatever I wanted, and I'd have that with salad. You know, it's obviously hot conditions, so salads and things like that are really, really good in that kind of weather. So that's kind of what I'd have. So yeah, lean meat, salad, or veg, some form of potato or rice or what have you. And then in the evening, I generally tend to have quite a lot of calories spare, right? So this is the key, and not many people talk about this. It's, you know, I'm probably on 3,200 calories a day. On holiday, I was probably more around 3,500, 4,000, somewhere around that. So I'd have like kind of 2,500 calories left really for my evening meal. So I could have literally pretty much whatever I wanted, you know, whatever I wanted. So burgers, pizzas, steaks, mixed grills, anything I wanted. I could have a starter, main, dessert, have a few beers as well, which is what I did, and still never put the weight on. And that is the key, you know, it's all about like flexing those calories. You know, if you can flex those calories throughout the day, you know, you can have what you want. And that is the key, it's being flexible. And this is the problem that people have, I think, and one of the massive problems of why people put the weight back on and yo-yo so much is because they think they have to live like a monk. They'll, you know, battle away, get to where they want to get to, and then completely go fucking nuts on an evening out, you know, have 10 pints, you know, eat whatever they want, etc. And they'll just go, oh, fuck it, I'll just, you know, that's it, that's me done, essentially. I might as well just do what I want for the rest of the holiday now. And that's where you end up piling the weight back on, and you're right back to where you started when you get home, which is obviously not a great place to be. So yeah, it's all about just kind of controlled, flexible eating, really. You can still have whatever you want. You genuinely can. You can still, you know, have the burgers, the pizzas, whatever you fancy. You can still have the beers, you know, as long as it's in moderation and you're not absolutely smashing them, you know, having 10 a night or what have you, along with 15 sugary cocktails a day or what have you. It's all about just like controlled, you know, just a controlled way of maintenance, really. You're just having a little bit more than maintenance calories, but flexing it throughout your day, and that is the key. And that's where you can have your ice creams and whatever you want, you know, without compromising, without putting loads of weight back on. It's as simple as that. So yeah, that's generally what I did, you know, focused on my proteins, my high proteins, etc. That keeps you fuller, keeps you satiated for longer, etc. And then, you know, by the evening time, you can have whatever you want. It's as simple as that. All right, guys, I'll leave it there for this one. If you want to know anything more about, you know, staying lean on holiday, etc., drop it in the comments below, and yeah, I'll get back to you. Cheers.